I started a Faceless YouTube channel that made me $6,500, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly how you can do the exact same thing. Now, as you can see here, just very quickly want to show you guys that this is not a screenshot. I can even reload because I see in many, under many videos, you guys always want me to reload. Just so you guys see this is absolutely real. I can click on all of these things. Now, for the people who don't know who I am, I'm Stefan, 23 years old, currently making around about $30,000 to $40,000 a month with my Faceless YouTube channels and constantly starting new channels. I've had 2 videos that made me over $42,000. I've built a channel. By the way, I'll post a case study on this very soon, which I literally took from $0 to $48,000 in 30 days. And then I've helped hundreds of other people do the exact same thing. For example, Martins, we've helped to make $31,000 in one single month. Here, for example, a different student, $12,000 in one single month. Then here, a different one from $200 to $400 a day. Here, one from, literally nothing to $24,000 a month, and many, many more. Now, if you're looking for the same results, check out the first link in the video description. Book a call with me and we'll see how we can work together and how we can scale you up as well. Now, that being said, I would say let's get into the video. Massive video, but very, very valuable. Now, for the people who don't know kind of which steps we're going to take, so the first thing we have to do is we have to pick a niche, then we have to come up with video topics, then we use freelancers and AI to kind of create videos for us. We post them to YouTube and then YouTube pays us for the views. I'll break down everything for you guys, like every single step of the way is extremely important. So make sure to watch this full video. Now, the first thing, choosing a niche. Now, we have to know that YouTube has supply and demand. So this is probably the most important part when it comes to YouTube automation. It is basically seeing YouTube as a marketplace, all right? Because YouTube is basically a marketplace of videos, okay? Now, and just like any other market, YouTube has supply and it has demand, okay? Now, what does that actually mean? That means that, demand is what the audience actually wants too much, and supply is how much content is there already. And we have to find a gap between these two. Now, what normal YouTubers do is, like, if you build a personal brand, they take years to build personal brands, spend years building a connection with their audience. It takes them a lot of time and hard work to build demand around them. Now, if you look at this channel here, just as an example, you see here we posted the first videos on the 3rd of May and immediately kind of blew up. So here, first video is 3rd of May, and then basically immediately blew up. Reason for it is very simple, because of supply and demand. Now, luckily with YouTube automation, we skip this whole process. So instead, what we do is we look for a topic or a niche that has a lot of demand, but no supply, as I've just shown you guys, all right? This is why YouTube automation is the best business model out there, all right? Because you can blow up very, very quickly. Now, if we want to look for demand, there's specific niche criteria, or supply and demand, there's specific niche criteria that we are looking for. Just as an example, there are under 5 smaller channels creating content in this niche that are constantly getting more views than they have subscribers. This means there's high demand and low supply, which is one of the most important things when it comes to YouTube automation. Then there are no channels with over 100,000 subscribers. There are no smaller channels failing. Why? Very simple. If they are big channels, right, it's going to be very difficult for you to compete against them, because YouTube has, or YouTube has already trust with these kind of channels. They know the audience wants to watch these channels. Now, if they're big channels, there will also be a lot of small channels that are failing. So that again means there is a lot of supply for not that much of demand, all right? Then, or there's too much supply for the demand. Then the niche is not older than 6 months. In most cases, if the niche is older than 6 months, we'll have these 2 already. Then I can create better content than my competitors. Am I actually interested in this niche? Not a must, as long as you build a team that actually has an interest in the niche. Then, is this niche monetizable? Very important, otherwise you can't make any money. And then, huge bonus if you can actually post long videos. Now, very important, this does not need to be 1000% with all niches you find. Why? Because otherwise you're going to look for niches forever and you will not get started, right? If this is like 100% correct, you'll obviously have an insane niche and it's going to blow up like crazy, okay? Now, there's some tools I would recommend for niche research. That is, for example, NextLev, like it's 13 euros a month. You can check it out. I'll link it in the video description with like a discount code. I'll also show you guys exactly how to use it. And then VidIQ, the free plan is more than enough. Now, how we do niche research is we basically use a dummy account, which is a niche research account just like this. Now, this is basically an account that we only use for niche research. Now, the YouTube homepage has changed for our advantage. YouTube got extremely good at predicting what viewers actually want to watch. All right. And, we can use this to our advantage to train the YouTube algorithm to only show us faceless niches on our home tab. Now, instead of explaining you guys exactly how to do this, let me just show you, because once you have a dummy account set up, you can find endless niches with it. So let me just open up an incognito window, just like here, just as an example. And then let me just open up another window. So then I can just show you guys exactly, how my account looks like as well. So let me just go to the incognito very quickly to show you guys exactly how I do niche research. By the way, my videos are completely uncut for the people who don't know. So if you don't like that, just click off this channel. But yeah, let's get into it. So this here, just as an example, is my own niche research account, which I've already shown you guys. And if we look at this homepage, we can only see faceless content. Everything is literally just faceless content, right? And this is what makes this strategy of doing niche research so powerful, because here, just as an example, this is again, okay, this channel I already know, but YouTube will show me a bunch of channels that I don't know, but I'll show you how to do that. So what you do is you basically create a brand new account, then it will look like this. Then you go to YouTube search, anything you're interested in. For example, the biggest houses, just as an example, this can be, no joke, anything you're interested in. All right. The next thing we do is we kind of go to the search bar and we scroll down and we look for faceless content. All right. Now here, just as an example, this video here is completely faceless. So we go here to the search or to this bar here. We just scroll through. Can we see any faces? No. Then we click on this video. Now, this video is now playing. While this video is playing, we can already subscribe to the channel, like the video, and write a comment. Just again to show YouTube that we want to see this kind of content. What we do next is we come to this suggested bar right here and we click on the next faceless video. And we want to do this over and over and over again to show YouTube we want to see faceless content. Now, for example, here, tech in check, just as an example, small channel got a lot of views. So then we open up the channel. This is also a way how we can do niche research. And we have a look at like, hey, how many views is this channel actually getting? So here we can see it's doing okay, but it's not doing the best, 2.8 million views. They're posting a lot of shorts. So I don't know. Then we go to this bar here again, and we just continue searching. So here's another one. So here we can see 2,000 subscribers, 160,000 views. Then we check this channel out, 19 videos with 2,000 subscribers. Let's have a look at the views, 500,000 views, not too bad. Then we continue here again on the search bar again. Keep in mind that you can subscribe and like these videos. Here's another channel, all car talk, big channel, 400,000 views, 100,000 subscribers. But we keep on doing this for quite a while. And then we go back to our YouTube homepage, and the longer you do it, the better this strategy works, because your YouTube homepage will show you the exact same niches you are kind of already interested in, which makes it super easy for you to really dig into niche research. Now, once you've done this for a while, your niche research account will look exactly like this one. Now with Next Level, what you can do is you can literally scroll down to the bottom, exactly as I do right here. Then you click here on filters. Okay, somehow I'm not logged in. You can also do the exact same thing with here VidIQ. So then you literally just go here, you filter down the subscribers to like 3,800 subscribers. And then, you can filter here to views, just as an example. And here we can see all of the top viewed videos on our YouTube homepage. For example, here, this one, 140,000 views in like with 600 subscribers. So as we can see here, I didn't even know this channel, but I found it on my YouTube homepage, right? So let me quickly log into VidIQ, into Next Level, and I'll show you what you can do with that. All right, so now I just logged into my account. Now what we can do with Next Level is we can literally come here. If we look at, just as an example, this channel is now not monetized, but we can go here to analytics, and then we can actually see their revenue, their views, their RPM, everything that this channel has, basically we can get more information about this channel, which is going to make our decision way easier if we actually want to go into the channel or not. Now, this channel is not monetized, so we won't be able to see that for now. So let's look at another channel just very quickly so I can just show you guys some examples. So let's say, for example, this channel right here, Core Insights. You see here, I didn't know this channel, and this channel is doing very, very well. So if you look here, 3.7 million views in, with only 60 videos, which is very good. If we then again click on analytics, we can see like very important information about these specific channels. So we can make a informed decision if we want to go into these channels or if we not want to go into these channels. So I'll just quickly let this finish loading. Now, while this is loading, guys, if you're interested in working close with me, check out the first link in the video description, book a call with me. Now here we can see this channel has here 45% of its audience comes from the US. It has a $5 RPM and is making around about $8,000 a month. So next level is super, super cool when it comes to, analyzing channels. Same with the whole dummy account. Now, what we like to do is we like to create new niches using the niche transfer method. So instead of blindly copying what everyone is doing, we use the niche transfer method 2000x our results. Now, this is essentially taking any proven concepts and moving them to different markets on YouTube. Now, this can be literally anything: the thumbnail, the title, the thumbnail style, the video style, anything that currently works on YouTube, we take it and we move it to a different kind of niche. Now, here are a few examples. We have here medieval times discovered, before fire, pirate times on TV, or even here off-grid solutions. If we look at the videos, right, and the thumbnails and everything, we can very, very clearly see where these three channels here took their inspiration from. So this was actually the first channel that existed that kind of created this kind of style of content. And these channels right here just came and kind of took that style of content and just moved it to a different market, to a different to different kind of people. As we can see here, this is more for homeless, this is for pirates, and this here is for, cavemen. Just as an example, this here was for medieval times, all right? So this is a super, 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 super powerful way of kind of, kind of creating a new niche. So for example, if there's a channel about Mercedes, you can go ahead and you can create the exact same kind of content for BMW, just as an example. All right. So be a little bit creative with it. And if you hit something doing this, you can be very sure that your channel is going to do extremely well. Now, the next thing we need is we need to select video topics. Now we know that, now we know how to create a niche, or how to, find a niche. Now we need to select video topics. Now, what you need to know is that there is supply and demand on video topics. Supply and demand is not just important in your niche, but also in the video topics you choose. Now, how do you actually find demand? You look for recent outlier videos on competitor channels, look for recent trending formats, and very important, do not go ahead and copy most popular videos from competitors, because this is what everyone does and you will 1,000,000 billion% fail. All right, there's no two ways around it. Okay, now how do you find supply? You use your YouTube search bar and look for how many people have created the exact same video. Do it with the most popular videos and you will see what happens. All right, if it's been done more than 3 times and you do not have a different angle to that specific video, you go ahead and you look for a different topic. Now, you have to keep in mind that YouTube will always show the videos to the hardcore fans of that niche first. And if they have already seen that video multiple times, they do not have a single reason for clicking on your video, except if it follows a completely different angle. Okay. Now, what does a perfect topic look like? A perfect topic is basically a video topic that resonates with your audience. So do they even want to watch this? Then some topics sound very interesting, but are super boring. Make sure your topic is not boring, very important, because otherwise the video is 100% gonna fail. Your topic has to be posted on time. If it is a trend, repeat what has already done well in the past. This is absolutely crazy. I'll tell you guys more about that in a bit. Then leverage negativity. Humans always respond way better to negative things, or they respond way quicker. There's like more urgency for these people than to click on your video, which is very powerful. Now, what we like to do is we also like to use the topic transfer method. Now, this is by far the most powerful ways to choose video topics. What you essentially do is you find winning video topics in other niches and move them over to your niche. And this can work insanely well if this is done correctly. All right. Now, as we can see right here, here's some examples again. So why you wouldn't last 24 hours in Stone Age, just as an example, this was posted 9 months ago. Then we have here why you wouldn't last 24 hours in medieval times. This was a huge outlier for the medieval channel, was posted 11 months ago. Same thing here. This one, if your dog sleeps with you, they're trying to tell you this. 6 days ago, 55,000 views. And then if your cat sleeps with you, they're trying to tell you this. 1 month ago, 2.5 million views. So this works very, very well. Now, this is exactly what we did with Scott, who went from literally getting, 50 to 100 views a video to almost giving up on his channel to 5K a month, not days, a month, within like a week. As we can see here, the channel completely blew up. He even had like a $400 day, right? So doing these little small twitches can sometimes be a massive, massive game changer for your Faceless YouTube channel. Now, what we also like to do is we double down on what works. So once you find something that works and actually gets views, why would you want to reinvent the wheel? Double down on that topic until it doesn't work anymore. If you have something that works, do 80% of what works and 20% test new stuff. This has worked extremely well for Andre, who went from, here's a T, who went from being monetized to making $31,000 a month in just 4 months later, as we can see right here. So here he made $30,000 in gross revenue across 3 channels by literally just doubling down on exactly what works. I'll also create a video on his channel specifically, showing you guys exactly what we did there, how we implemented everything, so you can do that for yourself. All right. So now we know how to pick good video topics, but now we actually need to, get freelancers and AI to create the videos for us. All right. So when it comes to content creation, you have basically 3 options for approaching content creation. So we have do it yourself, the hybrid method, or fully outsource it. Now, if you do it yourself, the advantages are there's basically no cost. You have 100% profit margin, you learn new skills, and you have complete and full control over your videos. Now, the disadvantages are it's not very scalable. It's extremely time consuming. Learning takes time, and without you, there's no money, because then nobody can create videos. Now, with the hybrid method, this is kind of where, you and the freelancers work together. The advantages are it's low cost. You do what you enjoy. You have more control. But the disadvantages are it's only partially scalable, very time consuming, and some capital is required. And without you, there's still no income, because the video is then only half done. Okay, then we have you fully outsource it. This is what I do, and what we always do with our students is we start with the hybrid method and then we move to the fully outsourced once they start making money. But that is very different for everyone. If you have money to put into it, then we fully outsource from the beginning. We actually give you guys not students but freelancers and everything, so you guys are ready to go in very quickly. So the advantages of fully outsourcing is it's not very time consuming, extremely scalable, still over 80% profit margin. You have time freedom because you don't have to create the videos yourself anymore. We work with only experienced freelancers, and without you, there is still income. The disadvantages are this requires some initial capital. All right. Now, where do we hire these freelancers? So the thumbnail designer we get from X or Fiverr, Upwork, or YT Jobs, or even onlinejobs.ph. This is kind of where we get the thumbnail designers. You will find the best thumbnail designers on X. Now, for the script writer, we use Upwork, YT Jobs, onlinejobs.ph, or we just use AI. Doesn't specifically have to be ChatGPT. Can be literally any AI software. For the voiceover artists, we use Fiverr or 11 Labs. Now, 11 Labs is a AI voiceover generator. What you can also use, because 11 Labs is going to be a bit more expensive. So what we use is we use Gen AI Pro in the beginning of the channels, and then we switch over to 11 Labs. But this year, here you can get, for example, 1 million credits for only $22. I'll link it in the video description. Very affordable, and kind of everyone or anyone can start with it. Now for the video editors, we find them on Upwork, on X, on YT Jobs, or on onlinejobs.com. I don't hire video editors from Fiverr. Why? Because in my opinion, they have too many clients and they're just not as good. All right. Then for the channel manager, which many people also use, we very often, you can ask your friends if someone has some kind of interest to become the channel manager and kind of manage the team and stuff. We can also hire them on Upwork, or we can use one of our existing freelancers. This is something I have done because I already know them and trust them. But what is very important is that the channel manager is very accountable. We can also hire them from YT Jobs or from onlinejobs.ph. You can hire like a VA, and they can kind of manage the day-to-day things like making sure that the videos get posted on time, these kind of things. All right. So this is when it comes to content creation. Then it actually comes to posting the videos on YouTube. Now, posting videos, I have a specific testing strategy. Now I follow this exact process with every single niche I get into to avoid spending money on videos that will never ever work. So first thing is we do niche research, then we choose a account which we're going to use to post videos on. So we have a new account, personal account, aged account, or even a pre-monetized account. Then we choose between 5 and actually 15 videos these days. But these need to be good videos, all right? Don't get me wrong. So make sure to rewatch this video. Make sure that you know how to select video topics, okay? Then we go ahead and we write the scripts with ChatGPT just to keep the costs down in the begin. We use Gen AI Pro or 11 Labs for the voiceover. We use a editor, like we use a freelancer to edit the video. Now, we don't want to overspend on the video. So very often, on average, our students pay between, $15 and then $30 per video. All right. And these are decent videos. But yeah, then for the thumbnail, we can either use a freelancer or we can also do it ourselves. If you know a little bit how to create a thumbnail, many niches don't require insane skills, but we at least want to understand what actually works and how we can actually create that as well. And if you can, then it's okay to do it yourself. All right. Now, very important, we want our video length to be 1.5 times longer than our competitor video. Why? Because YouTube is always going to push out the video that keeps the viewer on YouTube for the longest period of time. All right. Now for the thumbnail, we want our thumbnail and our title, actually these two always play together. We want them to be as similar, and it has to be something that has already worked on YouTube, right? So we can't just randomly choose thumbnail and title ideas. We want to analyze and look for trending patterns. We want to look for patterns that, consistently go viral and work with that. So we actually work with a strategy and not just randomly use thumbnails. Now, what we do then is we actually start posting. So we post, skip, post, skip, post, post, skip, post. All right. Now, this can be any kind of sequence, however you want to. Very funny. People always ask me, like, I thought you have to be consistent on YouTube to be able to succeed, like consistent posting time, consistent every single day or every third day, however you want to do it. But very funnily, I always say, like, due to AI, right, and all of these kind of things, we've gotten way better results by being inconsistent with our posting in the beginning. All right. Now, you will see one of two things is going to happen. Either, because in the beginning, it's always going to be slow, but somewhere is going to come a point where the channel blows up, right? That's the only time where we continue posting videos, okay? If this does not come and it's like just like a deadline, like for example here, and nothing is happening, we don't continue to post videos, all right? If that happens, we always want to go back and try to understand why this is happening. Is this because the niche is bad? Is this because I didn't put time into choosing good video topics? Is this because I didn't put time into packaging? Is this because my videos is too short? Or is this because I have a bad channel? Now, if your channel is bad, you will see that you will not get any impressions. All right. Now, in the case of not getting any impressions, we take these videos, we delete them from this channel and we post them on another channel. And we do this exact same test again. All right. Now, in case of a channel failing, we usually start from niche research again, and we follow this exact same process until we find something. All right. Don't give up too early, but don't also like push it too long where you have like 100 videos on the channel and you're not making any money. That just does not make any sense. All right. Now, last thing, and that is basically making money with YouTube. That's probably the favorite thing. So here, favorite topic of this video. So the YouTube partnership program is kind of the #1 way or the easiest way to monetize your YouTube videos. Now for that, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. Now, many people think this is going to take years. Now on average, our students kind of hit that within 3 to 6 weeks. So as we can see here, after 6 weeks in total, this channel wasn't doing that great. They've only posted 4 videos though in 6 weeks. Keep that in mind. Then we changed up something very little and it immediately blew up and they had 1,000 subscribers like very shortly after 6 weeks. And this is actually a student where it took a little bit longer. Don't always want to, use the best students in the videos. I want to keep it very average, right? So this is awesome. But yeah, so how much money can you actually earn from YouTube? So we have, for example, the CPM, which is kind of cost per 1,000 views. So how much advertisers pay YouTube for every 1,000 views or impressions on the ad. And then RPM is basically revenue per 1,000 views, how much money you get per 1,000 views. All right. Now, if you have an RPM of $5, you basically get $5 per 1,000 views, $50 for 10,000 views, $500 for 100,000 views. For, a million views, you get $5,000. For 10 million views, you get $50,000. All right. Now, keep in mind, if you want to make 10K a month, you only need 2 million views a month. All right. On videos, basically with topics that people already want to watch. Okay. So ask yourself how difficult that is. Now, there are ways to increase your RPM. So firstly, turn on alcohol and gambling ads. Keep in mind, we're here to make money, So we want to turn this on. Then we want to create videos longer than 15 minutes. Usually the RPM goes up a little bit then. And then we place ads every 10 seconds using NextLev. These are kind of the main ways how you can increase your RPM. Now, this is kind of the process. I would really make sure to, rewatch the choosing a niche and selection of topics. Very, very important videos. And then keep in mind, if you are interested in scaling up your channel as well, just like we did here with this student who made $3,000 a month, or here a different one, 8,000, or here 18,000, then check out the first link in the video description, book a completely free call with me, and then I'll see you guys in the next video.